everyone, and welcome to my Christmas and New Year's book haul. I was gifted a couple of books during Christmas and then also bought a few for myself in the New Year's during the sales. So let's get into exactly what I bought and what I was gifted. First up is The Martian by Andy Weir, and this was very kindly gifted to me by Olivia Savannah of Olivia's Catastrophe, so thank you so much, Olivia, for gifting me this book, and I am so excited to read this one because I've wanted to read this for years now, ever since I watched the movie. If you don't know what The Martian is about, it is essentially the story of a guy who gets stranded on Mars during a space mission or something, and he's basically got to try and survive there for several years until NASA can come and get him back again. I've heard amazing things about this book. I really enjoyed the movie, I know that much. I've also heard amazing things about Andy Weir as an author, and now I am so excited to finally read this book. I cannot wait. Thank you so much, Olivia, for gifting me this. Then of the two things my mum gifted me, the first one is The Grimoire of Agatha Harkness, a magical history and spell book, and this is essentially Agatha Harkness's grimoire, very much like I've got, you can't see directly behind me, but I do have the Wakanda files back here, which is basically like Shuri telling the story of like Wakanda and the technology of Wakanda, all of this kind of thing, as well as the Book of Vishanti, which is a book that Doctor Strange has also sort of studied and things like this in the Sanctum Sanctorum, and this one is the Agatha Harkness version, and I am so excited about this. I love Agatha so much. The cover, if I can get past this bit, looks like this, so it is absolutely stunning. The end papers look like this on the inside, if I just move that out of the way for the minute, but that is what the end papers look like, and then the inside is filled with like spell knowledge and then also comic book art as well of all of my favourite sorcerers. I mean, look at this double page spread, and it's just, it's stunning. It's all about Agatha. It's all about the spells of the Marvel Universe. I love these type of books so much. I love reading these ones and feeling like I am part of the Marvel Universe and reading things in the characters' voices and things like this, and I cannot wait to read this one and also use it in my Billy Maximoff cosplays. The second thing she got me was I Hate Fairyland Volume 8 Happy Endgame. This is by Scotty Young, and it is the latest one, or the second to latest one, I should say, in the I Hate Fairyland series, which is essentially about a 6-year-old girl called Gert who gets stuck in fairyland for 30 years and tries to Deadpool her way out. I have admittedly already read this one. I read this on New Year's Day, if I remember rightly. Yes, it was New Year's Day, and absolutely loved it. It is so fun. Once again, if you're a Deadpool fan, this is definitely something to read because it is just so much of a similar tone to that. It is bonkers, it is wonderful, and I absolutely loved it. The next 4 things to mention I all got on my Waypoint Books Full Moon subscription box for November and December. The first one is Spread Me by Sarah Gailey, and this one I've already read. I read it in December, and this one defies any kind of explanation. That's the only way I can describe it, because it is very weird. The basic premise of this is that we are following researchers who are isolated there in the middle of nowhere, and then a virus gets in and starts taking them over, and weird stuff starts happening, and to say the least, it gets weird. And I mean that not in a derogatory way, in any way, shape or form. It is just weird, and I did genuinely really enjoy this one. It was completely and utterly outside of my comfort zone, but I did really love this. It was weird, it was wonderful, it was creepy, and I just really liked it. There's also Exquisite Corpses. This is by James Tynion, and this is following essentially a bunch of rich people who every year hold a competition. They pick a random town in the middle of nowhere around the world, and then they send in the, I think, 12 best killers, I think it is. A bunch of killers anyway, like the best in the world, into that town, and basically say whoever wins basically wins everything but kill everybody else, and the rest of the town are collateral damage. And this was so much fun. It is the first part in a series, and I cannot wait to continue on with it because this was incredible. I loved it. I can't show you any of the artwork because obviously it is very violent and very bloody, but it is so much fun. The second one was The Deviant Volume 2, again by James Tynion, and this one is a Christmas based slasher where we are following someone who is has been accused of being a serial killer who dresses up as Santa and kills people around the holiday season. And I really like this one. It kept me guessing the whole way through as to who the killer was going to be. I really enjoyed that. I really liked the mystery of it, as well as the discussions around being gay and coming out and what that means, all of this kind of thing. I really enjoyed all of that, and this was a really fun time once again from James Tynion. And then the final one she sent me was A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher, which is very exciting because I really want to read more T. Kingfisher this year. I forgot the name of it. I apologise right now. I will just put the cover here. To be perfectly honest with you, I am filming this at the beginning of the year and my brain is mush. But apologies, this is the one I read last year and really enjoyed. And ever since then, I have wanted to read more T. Kingfisher. So really excited to have this one. And admittedly, I did buy 2 others as well in the Kobo sale, which I'll go into in a minute when I talk about the ebooks. Either way, very excited about this. I've heard nothing but good things about T. Kingfisher, so very excited to give this one a read. And then very quickly, before I actually get into the books I bought myself, I want to very quickly talk about some of the bookish things I actually was also given that were not actual books but to do with books instead. The first thing I've got to show you is these earrings. You definitely can't see those. If I can turn them around, no, I'll just put a photo here. But essentially they are a stack of books that say I Heart Books, and I've been wanting bookish earrings for a while now. My mum gifted me these and I'm absolutely in love with them. She also actually gifted me a second set of bookish earrings, which are these ones here. You cannot see that. Maybe you can now, but they are a dinosaur holding a stack of books, which is absolutely adorable. I am obsessed with these ones as well. She also got me 2 bookmarks. The first one is of Bucky holding the shield as the Winter Soldier, which is obviously a reference to that moment in that big fight in the Winter Soldier movie. It is one of my all-time favourite fights of the MCU and moments with Bucky Barnes in general, so very excited to have this as a bookmark. And then also the second one is of Spider-Punk, who is, quite frankly, one of my favourite Spider people. It basically goes Peter Parker, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Punk. He's absolutely incredible. I adore him so much, and now I finally have a bookmark with him on as well, which is awesome. I adore him. Then she also got me this pouch which says Just a Girl Who Loves Books, and it is now being used to hold all of my TBR cards because, quite frankly, the pouch I was using before is just too full at this point. There is no way I can fit any more in them, so naturally I needed a new pouch, and this is the one she got me and I love it. And then finally, quickly before I go into anything else, I want to quickly show you what Abby gifted me, and that is this little Tamagotchi looking keyring for Good Omens, and it is of the bookshop with Crowley and Aziraphale on the inside. It is absolutely adorable. I adore it. Thank you so much, Abby, for gifting me this. And then actually quickly, finally, there was also this t-shirt here, which is a Lestat the Brat Prince t-shirt, along with another one, I'll put the photo of it here, that my mum gifted me because she knows I love Lestat, An Interview with a Vampire. It is one of my favourite TV shows. I adore it so much. I'm in such a vampire era, and what I really wanted was, before the TV show comes out with the vampire Lestat and we start seeing Lestat as a musician and this kind of thing, I wanted a t-shirt or two that had him looking like he was essentially a rock star, and it was like a band t-shirt, and this was one of the ones she found, and this one was the other one, and I am obsessed with both of them. I cannot wait to be wearing them constantly. And then finally, let's talk about some of the books I bought myself. First up is Hollow by Taylor Groth, and this one, it says, danger lies in the forest, but so does acceptance, and this is following a young autistic girl who comes across this compound in the middle of the woods, and it all goes from there. It's meant to be quite creepy and quite horror-esque. I think it's meant to be a little bit about a cult as well, if I remember rightly, and it just sounds like so much fun. I always want to be supporting more autistic books and autistic authors, especially horror authors, so very excited for this. I also picked up I Am the Dark That Answers When You Call by Jameson Shea, which is the sequel to I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast Is Me, which was all about a young black ballerina who makes a deal with a pulsing river of blood under the catacombs of Paris, and I really enjoyed that one. I've been wanting to read the sequel ever since, so when I was gifting myself some books at the end of the year, this was right at the top of my priority list. And then the final physical book I have is The Chronicles Chronicles of Weatherwhy, The Age of Enchantment by Anna James, and this is a magical school story, which is all I really needed to know going into this one, because it's written by Anna James, who wrote the Pages & Co series, which I absolutely adored. I've been meaning to try out her other work for ages now, so again, when I was treating myself at the end of the year, this was right at the top of my list. The first one I need to mention is The Never Tilting World by Rin Chupeco, and this one is about two cousins who journey to unite a world torn between day and night by their twin goddess mothers, which just sounds incredible. I loved Rin Chupeco's work on the Court of Wanderers series, and I've been wanting to read more of her work ever since, so really excited about this one. I also got Joey Batey's It's Not a Cult. One, because I love Joey Batey as Jaskier in The Witcher. He is my favourite character of that show. But also because this really interested me, and I'm just going to read you the tagline. It says, because gods and cult both demand sacrifices, and one way or another they're going to get one. Which immediately intrigued me. I want to be reading more horror, and this sounds absolutely perfect. I also got It Came From the Trees by Ali Russell, and this one it says, when her best friend is taken by a creature in the woods, Jenna is determined to save her, and like I said before, I'm trying to kind of build up my horror reserves at the moment, trying to really sort of fill out Halloween. This one I've heard amazing things about as well, so really excited to give it a read. I also got Inkbound, Meticulous Jones and the Skull Tattoo by Philippa Lethley, and again I'm also trying to build up my children's novels at the moment as well, because I seem to have run those down a little bit, and this one it's supposed to be very much like about family and fate and finding courage in yourself, and meant to be a little bit like Lemony Snicket, which is something I really enjoy. Again, this is one I've seen around for a while now, so really excited to read this one as well. My camera battery died, so apologies if I've moved at all, but the next one I got was Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher, and this one is essentially a Snow White retelling. Like I said earlier in this video, I want to be reading more T. Kingfisher, and also I want to be reading more retellings, so I cannot wait to see what T. Kingfisher is going to do to Snow White. I also got Nettle and Bone, also by T. Kingfisher, because it was on sale at the same time. I don't actually know what this one's about, to be perfectly honest with you. I've just heard amazing things about this one, and the cover is definitely intriguing me, with the skulls and the swords and all of the rest of it, so really excited to give this one a go as well. I also got Hazelthorn by C.G. Drews, which is a book I've wanted to read for absolutely ages now, because again, I want to be supporting autistic authors, and specifically autistic horror authors, and this one is described as being like Knives Out meets Belladonna, with an inherited estate, murderous relatives, and a garden with a taste for blood, with a lot of like queerness throughout here as well, and it just sounds absolutely perfect. I cannot wait to read this. And then finally, I also got How to Survive This Fairy Tale by S.M. Hallow, and the synopsis absolutely intrigued me on this one. It says, you are not a hero, you don't get your true love. This is the part where you lose everything. This is the part you rewrite your story. After losing everything in service to the evil queen and driven to the edge of sanity by a cruel narrator who won't let him die, Hansel must bring himself to do the impossible, forge his own destiny or give up on his happily ever after. And that sounds like so much fun. I love a subversive fairy tale that really plays with like narration and changing your story, all of this kind of thing. It sounds incredible. I cannot wait to read this. And that is all of the books I got for Christmas and New Year's, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, tell me a book you've got for Christmas that you are so excited to read, or if you don't have that much time, leave me a book stack emoji down below to let me know that you were here. I'll also leave a link as well down below to all of my social media if you want to check it out, or if you just want to see any more of my bookish videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. Until next time everyone, bye!